Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Monday, April 19th, 2021, and I am Sierra Dyson. Educational Excellent Week, early voting begins, fatal shootings in Austin, Texas, and more, all coming up next on Texan TV. In campus news, this week is the Inaugural Educational Excellence Week at Tarleton. From April 19th through the 23rd, Tarleton will embark on a week-long journey celebrating Tarleton and how far the university has come. The event is put on through the Center of Educational Excellence, or the CEE for short. The goal for the event is for students to learn more about the program that strives to develop faculty and student scholarships in ways that motivate, empower, connect, and celebrate them. To learn more about this opportunity, go to your Canvas account and click on the tab under the course section that says Educational Excellence Week 2021. In local news, early voting begins today for the bond election regarding improvements needed around the community. The improvements include a multi-purpose building that will house many things such as the Senior Citizen Center. The town square will also be improved for pedestrian traffic and community gatherings. The process of restoring the brick streets around the square will also begin. Registered voters can vote at the courthouse from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. today through the 23rd. On April 26th and 27th, voting will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And now, today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. On Sunday, 3 adults were fatally shot and killed in Austin. The first call came in at 11:44 a.m. from the strip mall, where the adults were shot. No other reports were made for other victims anywhere else. EMS spokeswoman Captain Krista Stedman said in the early afternoon that it was still an active scene and that no arrests had been made. Josh Katowitz, who was shopping nearby, said that police and paramedics had been pouring into the area, but he had never heard any shootings. Police posted on Twitter saying that there had been active shootings nearby and asked residents to shelter in place and avoid the area. The police also closed a portion of a nearby highway going both directions. In national news, today Chicago's public high school will be reopening after it switched to remote learning over a year ago due to the pandemic. It was announced yesterday that members of the Chicago Teachers Union approved the reopening with an overwhelming number. Part of the reopening plan includes providing COVID shots for students 16 and older and their families, as well as leeway for educators to work remotely if they don't have in-person students that day. About 36% of the 73,000 high school students in the district expressed interest in returning to limited days of in-person studies. In international news, the French President, Emmanuel Macron, recently stated during an interview that CBS News that we will never accept new military operations on Ukrainian soil. This statement comes after the recent buildup of Russian troops at Ukraine's border, which was described by the United States military to be the largest buildup since 2014, which is when the Russian-Ukrainian conflict began. The French president went on to say, "I think we have to define clear red lines with Russia, and I think after an unacceptable behavior indeed, we have to sanction." For more of today's national and international news, we turn to the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Closing arguments are Monday in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. He is charged with murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd last year. Authorities in Wisconsin say they've apprehended a person in connection with a shooting in a busy tavern. The suspect faces charges including first-degree intentional homicide. Austin, Texas authorities searched early Monday for a former sheriff's deputy wanted in the fatal shooting of 3 people. Police say 41-year-old Stephen Broderick was familiar with the victims, but he could still be dangerous. Hundreds of people in Chicago held a peace walk to remember a 13-year-old boy shot and killed by a police officer. Police body cam video from last month shows Adam Toledo was shot just after he dropped a gun and raised his hands. Rita Foley, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
In sports yesterday, the Texan baseball team lost 4-8 to the Wolverines at Utah Valley. Wade Reburn started the scoring with the Texans with a 2-out single up the middle that plated 2 runs after the Texans had loaded the bases. The Texans were quiet most of the game, except in the 5th quarter when Brian Aguilar hit a solo home run. After the Wolverines scored 8 runs over the 5 innings, and both teams went scoreless after the 6th, leaving the Texans behind. The Texans will head back home and face the Aggies of New Mexico State in a 4-game conference series that will start Friday at 3 p.m. And now, for weather, we turn to Kaylee Dow.
Hey Texans, today we have sunny skies again with a high of 70 and a low of 47 tonight. There's about a 6-mile-per-hour wind today, so just a slight breeze, enough to cool you off. Back to the desk.
This has been a production of Texan TV News, a production of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Watch us live on Apogee, channel 2.1 in the dorms, at 12:30 weekdays if you live off campus. Tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news. Today's broadcast was produced by Texan TV staff. Have a wonderful day, Texans.